Hi everybody, it's Colleen Tarot. I'm back with another pick a card video. Today we're going to be discussing what is my life purpose, why am I here, and what steps can I take on my journey right now to help me fulfill my life purpose and feel complete. So cast your gaze over the piles. Here's pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Pile 1 has this little pink granite stone on it. Pile 2 has this little angel charm with an amethyst heart center. And pile 3 has a little white granite stone. And today I'm using Buddha Wisdom, Shakti Power. And this is actually my first deck. I really like it. It kind of feels like an old wise sage type person talking to you. And the deck underneath with the blue that you can see sticking out here is the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle, which communicates really through color, and it has air energy, and it's a really nice deck to work with if you want to have a non-traditional explanation for what emotions may be coming out or being stirred in these situations that you need to be focusing on. So once you choose a pile, there's going to be the timestamps linked in the description below, and you can click on that, and I'm going to get right into pile 1. Okay, I turned on the lights, so it should be a little brighter in here. We're going to go ahead and start with pile 1. So if you chose this little pink granite rock for pile 1, this is going to be a reading on what is my life purpose and what can I do right now to ensure that I'm following on my life path and I'm doing everything correctly. So let's start with the Buddha Wisdom cards. We have the Wisdom Lake Queen. Celebrate the creative feminine energy and the vitality of life. I'm going to show you guys this card. She has someone in the background, it looks like the sun and the moon, and she's pointing up with, I view that hand position as being like, aha, or I have the power, like I know things, I have the wisdom. Here we have the green Tara, the Bodhisattva of compassion and action. Compassion with action yields results. And Garuda, protector from the serpent race. Raise your eyes to a bird in flight to connect to the divine. So I'm going to show you guys this card. And I just realized I didn't show you her up close, so I'll show you her in a second. He has a snake that looks like he's holding in his mouth. He also has snakes at his feet and flames underneath him, and he's in the sky. And the green Tara, compassion with action yields results. She's green and she's sitting among a lot of flowers. It looks like she's on a pond or a lake with lotus around her. She's in the lotus position as well. Meditation pose, and she has like these lines coming out from behind her that show her power. So with just these cards right now, I feel like a heavy maternal energy. And even if you aren't planning on having a family or you don't have a family specifically, I feel like you are here to strengthen your nurturing side and the way that you help others feel nurtured in their life, especially with this mention of creative feminine energy and the vitality of life. You help people have fun, see the loving ways that they connect with one another, the ways that human interaction can bring people joy and vitality and feel uplifted. And with this compassion, I feel like also part of it is seeing that you sometimes may not have compassion for yourself, and it may be hard for you to operate out of your heart possibly in a past life. So in this life, what you're doing is really understanding how you can see everyone's heart-centered truth and see how other people also act when they are in need of some love and in need of some faith and in need of a good friend, a good helping hand who can be there to listen and to understand. Compassion, a big part of it is listening and having a big heart for others that are around us. I think that also something that is important in this lifetime for you is understanding how you are protected and how a higher power has made certain things happen in your life. I shut my window, so there should be less of a noise in the background. I'm sorry about that. But for you, pile one, with the protector card right here, it's also seeing how you can integrate some more masculine qualities in with the feminine, because I feel like this is heavy masculine energy compared to these other two. I feel like while you're trying to learn how to have a more mature feminine energy and develop that well-developed feminine qualities that aren't needy, but they provide soft and mothering and nurturing qualities to others and don't expect anything in return, you're also learning how to be a little bit more protective in an assertive way, in a way that's a little bit more proactive, and seeing that you have the means with which to do it because you have guides that are behind you and backing your journey that you're on. So let's look at these two from the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. So first we have transition. The frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence and our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. So I feel like part of your life purpose as well, and more so what you can do right now in order to get yourself into the integration of having a more developed and matured feminine energy, as well as bringing in some of those masculine qualities, is understanding that there are transitions that need to happen. Certain people are going to be communicating things to you in this upcoming. Currently, this is a timeless card reading, but right now we're kind of heading out of a Mercury retrograde. And when that happens, communication is reopened and people start communicating more things to us that they maybe felt blocked from or couldn't say, and things get opened up so that we can understand more things. And allowing these things to happen in our lives, allowing them to fall away, allowing Source to connect with us and really show us that we have this deep inner emotional intelligence that we can provide for ourselves. Because first, in order to be a mothering energy, you have to be able to provide yourself with that emotional balance and enlightenment. And with this dynamic card here, which says, the frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between the layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. So this is also allowing things to come in and out and really focusing on creating a strong, stable, like family base, a base of people that you can connect with really well and go back to. And I feel like heavy family energy with this, like even if other people transition in and out of your life, seeing that your family is your foundation and your heart, and knowing that cultivating that family is something that's really important to your life and something that's going to be essential for your life. Also, with this harmonizing between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency, it's talking about how even within our family that we're supposed to rely on, everybody's at a different level, everybody's on a different place in their journey, and understanding, I feel like you're waking up to the idea of a spiritual journey as well, the idea that everybody is at a different place in their spiritual journey. You may be looking into past lives and things like that to help you understand where you may be at and what you may have already lived through and where you're headed in this life. So before we close this out, I really want to read Transition because I feel like this is important for this group. From the book, transition can be described as the passage from one stage to another. However deeply or mildly it impacts our lives, transition always implies change of some sort, and most of us are afraid of change. We want things to stay the same. We want to stay in the comfort zone we've created. Unfortunately, change is the one certainty in life that we can all count on. Change is necessary to allow room for the new to emerge and the old to pass. Change is necessary for growth to occur. Change is a fundamental universal law. Transition describes this process of change, a time when things are moving, morphing, and shifting. In the midst of this process, it's common for nothing to feel clear, comfortable, or safe. Being pushed and pulled from our existing state into one that is unfamiliar isn't easy, and the most feared transition of all is the one we all face eventually, death. The transition from our physical bodies to the world of spirit. Because we have so little understanding of the true nature of our existence and of our connection to the cosmos, we tend to fear death as a perceived ending. As in this activation, the snake is a traditional symbol for death and transition in many cultures and belief systems due to its perceived ability to be reborn many times during its lifetime by shedding its skin. Behind it, the background shows not only the grid of the flower of life, the connection with the earth plane, but also the Merkaba, a reference to our existential ability to traverse between layers of time and dimension. The colors indigo, violet, and magenta are indications of our deep spiritual connection to the cosmos and the whole of existence, making any transition but a moment in an ongoing infinite journey. So, while I was reading that, I also had the reference of something that I've discussed with some friends before, and this, I'm not quite sure where it comes from, but I know that it's like thinking of moments in time as being like beads on a string, and those beads can be accessed at different times, and they all flow together to create a reality. And you can metaphorically go back and look at memories like a bead on a chain, but they're always there. They'll always be accessible. You can like wear them on you. But these beads hold significance, and the memories that you remember distinctly, they have a reason for being important in your life and being something that is brought to your attention often. And you have this power of being able to pluck those memories and remind people of important times in their life. And you also help create those important times in someone's life, especially with children or young people, and the ones that you are in contact with where you're in situations that are more lighthearted and they're really happy and they're things that people can look back on and say, yes, this was a true family moment, things like that. So thank you, Pile 1. I'm going to move on to Pile 2. If you have any questions, feel free to look in the description for my email or any other way that you'd like to contact me. I have everything in the description box below. So thank you so much. Let's go on to Pile 2. Hello, Pile 2. This is your reading if you chose this little angel pendant or you just resonated with Pile 2. So first, the angel pendant here has an amethyst heart, and I feel like this is important for this reading because the little angel heart, it's like your heart is being connected to source. The way that you love people is really important to you, and the love that you feel and exchange with others is felt really intensely by those people and by yourself. You are a mode of love in this life, and you aren't necessarily burdened by other responsibilities of having to bring up other people or focus on others. It's more of how you give and receive love, and this is very personal, I feel like, just right off the bat. So let's start with the Buddha Wisdom cards. We have Skull Cap of the Inner Offering. Giving creates a flow of health and love. What I was just saying too, with the way you give and receive love, and also with these rainbows in the back and the animals all together with the fire. So the fire in this card especially is about cleansing and using a fire energy to heal and cleanse. You may be a fire sign, or you may have fire heavy in your chart, but it's about cleansing others through this love. And I've heard love being used as a metaphor for a wildfire, being able to throw everything into this metaphorical wildfire that will purify and bring out the best of the people that you're around. The way that you speak is also really important to this, because your voice and the way that you portray your love in words is really important and resonates heavily with people, giving them a sense of accomplishment. You may also unintentionally be somebody who guides others using your voice and helps them cleanse and heal themselves of trauma or old hurts, or ways in which love may have been unhealthily attributed or misunderstood by other people who didn't understand love in the way that you do. You have a very healthy concept of love, and you can give that to others really readily, and that's what Spirit wants to use you for. Also here, a devotee offering his gift of song. Your skills are the gifts you can share with others. Your voice may be like a song. You come in and you can see others for the situation that they're at, help people. You may be somebody that people come to a lot for relationship advice or friendship advice. Any type of relationship can be relationship advice. That could be family, that could be friends, it could be anything that they're really going through, but they see that you operate from a place of love. And I'm getting the idea, especially though, that you have a heavy importance in your own understanding of your life purpose, that your romantic relationships are really influential and they have a high importance level for you. And with these apples here on this card, I don't know if you can see all that well, but there are apples in this tree, and it's like, I'm thinking of like the Garden of Eden, how there may be a lot of temptation that comes into your life to try and stray you away from love, or make you give up on love, or feel that love is twisted and different than what you expect. But you are expected to uphold the idea of love that is true and unconditional. I'm thinking of like the Bible verse, like, love is patient, love is kind, love does not boast, it does not envy, it does not pride itself on anything other than giving, that kind of a thing. And whatever you give, you will receive back with this Skull Cup of the Inner Offering. Third here, we have the cosmic map to your true, playful, laughing self, the Sri Yantra. And it says, when feeling disheartened, stop and watch a child at play. So this card is also asking you to remember that you inspire a childlike love, a love that people can fully lean on you the way that a child would to a parent. And it gives them a sense of fearlessness and youthfulness and wild-heartedness, and your heart is truly your biggest gift in this life, because the love that you show to others can purify a situation and show people what life is all about, and you bring that to the table for a lot of people. And here we have, which is interesting, it's the, I can't say his name, I apologize, but this deity is basically, he did live at some point, Sangye. He was a Buddhist teacher who was really influential in spreading an unconditional love, and some people would call him like a second Buddha. And it says, be courageous, anything life gives can be an inspiration. The cremation ground dwelling tantric master. So he understood the way that human connection on our journey can really push you forward and propel your spirit to grow and learn from one another, and also giving that compassion and love to the people that are surrounding you and in your situation. So he just inspires us to understand our own gifts and how we are love, and we give that love to others. With these lotus blossoms here around him, I think he's showing us that the peace that we carry within us is given to others when we take the moments to reflect within ourselves and reflect on our own peace that is coming from within. So these two cards, I love when there's synchronicity. The romantic love card right here from the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle, it says, the frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. This card is showing that our self-love, especially in this pile, I feel like your self-love is really important in order to feel like you're fulfilled in the relationships that you're in. Not just romance, but also within your family relationships, and showing people that love can be a fulfilling feeling and it's not something to be afraid of. I feel like you're here to transform people's trauma, especially surrounding love, and help people realize that love doesn't have to be something you have to be afraid of, and love and fear are not something that should be coexisting with each other, because when you truly have healthy love in your life, you don't need to be afraid, and you're somebody that people can really lean in on because they understand that you operate so specifically out of a place of love. There's some part of this also where I feel like you may get kind of run down or hard on yourself because you are so devoted, like this devotee. It's somebody who's really like dedicated to sharing in the joys of life with other people. But like, don't let yourself get too run down. I feel like this group may be somebody who's a little more introverted and they need some time to spend with themselves, because they are the expression of love in life. And so being the expression of love makes it so that you get that a lot from yourself. And so going within and spending time with yourself can be a way to really recharge and check in with yourself when you're in situations where you may be worried that you're being drained or you don't feel like you're getting enough love from yourself. So here with the empowerment card, it says the frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we all are connected through the same source. I feel like you specifically are someone, especially with this red here in the center, it's grounding. You ground people together and create a sense of community. You may be somebody who's really skilled in revealing to others how we are all connected and helping others inspire their own compassion for others, because you are abundant of love and human connection, and that's part of the way that you express yourself in this life. And these people, these are all little like people forms that have like their arms over their heads, like they are showing the unity of one another and loving each other with this unconditional force. So I think that this is really beautiful and something that you should really cherish about yourself, and go within and write out. Maybe after you watch this, take out a piece of journal paper and write out the ways in which you love yourself and you have been shown and given love throughout the day today. So thank you, Pile 2. This is really special and a great gift, so cherish it. If you have any questions or you want to book a personal reading, my information is in the description box below, and all the decks that I used are going to be listed there, just these two. And Otherwise, dwell in happiness. I hope to see you in the next video. I'm going to move on to pile 3. Hello, pile 3. If you chose this white granite stone, then this is going to be your reading on what is my life purpose, why am I here, why did Spirit bring me here for this incarnation, and what is my life path need from me right now. So right here we have focus on beauty, manifest harmony, bliss, swirls of delight. So this is a mandala, and it's talking about integrating your heart space with the ways in which you know. I feel like this has to do with your career, communicating your truth, and operating out of your heart, and the things that you find beautiful, maybe not complaining about certain things when they don't go your way, helping to reveal to others how to focus on beauty in their life and what that looks like for them. Here we have, I'm not going to do reversals, just because, especially with this oracle deck, reversals wouldn't make sense. So we have the 8 manifestations of Padmasambhava, the lotus-born one. So this is another really famous Buddhist teacher, and this is him in all of his manifestations. A great teacher is a treasure. Seek to find one. This may mean that you are specifically here to learn a lot and learn as much as you can about multiple different aspects of life. And the fact that you're looking so heavily into spiritual practice, especially finding a video like this, is really cool and definitely something that you were meant to hear today. Looking into, if you have any type of, like, it doesn't even have to be religious, but like spiritual interests that really pique your interests, such as past lives, the concept of third eye, ritual practices, even any type of like witch things. I want to show this card up close a little so you can see him and all of his manifestations. They're female, they're male, they're both, it doesn't really matter. And he's surrounded by flowers and beauty and this blue color, which is stillness and peace and purity. And you're really, I feel like, meant to interact with a lot of people too, and kind of work in a lot of settings where there are a lot of people, and you will be influential to others and teach them through learning with them. So being a student is something that's really important in your life. Being open to having a student mentality in this life as well. Right here we have Para, the ancient tantric mother goddess, origin of all goddesses, mother energy, pours forth life. I feel like something in your life specifically, maybe it's not to be a mother, but it is to understand the importance of a mother. Understanding how our mothers care for us, how we are mothers to each other, even in friends and family relationships. I feel like this is also figuring out how your physical body has an influence on the way that people view you, and has an influence on how you are perceived by others. And especially body language is important for your life path, helping you understand that people might be able to read through your facial expressions or the way that you carry yourself a little bit more than others, and that's to show you that your thoughts are very important still, even if you're not expressing them, and it's the way that you communicate is something that can be easily read by others, and you are a vessel to influence the way that others view their relationship with themselves and their relationship with the divine, and you are a divine being. that has the power to influence your surroundings and your environment, and you are a part of your surroundings and your environment as well. I think that this is also understanding that you are one with nature as well, with all this greenery in the background, and that your heart should be involved in the environment and represent the environment and speak for the environment as well. With this fourth card here, I'll show you up close first. The Goddess of Time. Conquer ignorance and delusion through helping others. So maybe if others speak in a way that is like out of their shadow self, or something, you know, when somebody says something to you and you're just like, did you even think that through? Like, do you understand how you're impacting the people around you? This deity expels demons from her circle by purifying them with this like fiery, flowery energy. And she has these people, this person right here that she's kind of almost like slinging by their legs, and she's stepping on another person. It's like, you may have a very fiery spirit. You may be somebody who isn't afraid to speak their mind, and you're a little bit harsh with the way that you can say things sometimes, but it's necessary and essential to help people really see through their own delusions, and you're here to really like rip that veil from them. And I think it's really interesting here too, though, with the repetition of the red and the green and then the blue. It's like you operate from your heart and you help ground people and have them see what they really are. And sometimes that can be uncomfortable for people, kind of being a mirror that really reflects something that's accurate to them, because sometimes looking in a mirror can be painful. It can be something that we don't want to keep looking, but that's why you may experience some kind of aversion to you in the life that you lead. When people look at you and they interact with you for too long, if you show them a side of themselves they're not ready to see, they might want to turn away, and they might project that onto you as you being horrible or whatever, but it's really just you're revealing to them what's really going on within themselves. But you eventually come to this peace with that, and you see that you're just expelling negativity and transmuting that negativity that some people may find within themselves. So here we have fertility, which I think goes underneath this mother card, because that's definitely connected with that. And this card says, the frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. And this is you really stepping into a zone of like being confident in who you are as an individual, and understanding that your individuality is really important to who you are in this lifetime and how others view this whole entire human experience. You are really an influential person to bringing that forth. And this alchemy card, the frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemists to perform the miracles of transmutation. Did I not just say transmutation? You definitely are somebody who comes in your presence even. You don't even have to speak words sometimes. You can transmute energy just by a look, just by the way that you carry yourself. And you're a powerful manifester. You bring things into your reality. So if your thoughts are kind of off, or you're thinking a lot of negative thoughts, you're not focusing on the beauty that is in your life, you're going to be reflected a lot of that negativity, so that you can see it, so that you can transmute it, so that you can transform it within yourself, and then that inherently transforms it outside of you. This, I really think of the magician as well in traditional tarot. So somebody who is good at manifesting, good at bringing things in, and is focused on helping others enhance their own emotional intelligence. Finally, here we have delight. And I'll show you this up close. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. And I think that this is a beautiful way to end this reading out, because we started with focus on beauty, manifest harmony, and then we're finishing with delight, which is something that is brought about because of the harmony that we feel within ourselves. So if you have joy and you know how to nourish those seeds of joy, even by focusing on the ability to have eyes that see clearly and that see the beauty around us and that can point out the beauty in others, having a voice that works, legs that walk, the things that we're just given inherently by being born, having joy in that and being grateful for that, having gratitude, will bring into your life really what you desire and push you forward onto this path that will bring you the sense of joy and help others see the joy as well. You definitely are somebody who can bring that joy around you as soon as you walk into a room, and you create a sense of community within the others around you. Even if sometimes you don't necessarily always rub somebody the right way, it's because you're helping them transmute negativity and you're reflecting to them to let them see that they aren't exactly as joyful as you. So wow, thank you, Pile 3. This is beautiful and a wonderful thing to be looking towards on your life journey, and I wish you the best of luck. So if you would like to get in contact with me or book a personal reading or ask me any question, you can. I'll have my contacts in the description below, and I look forward to hearing from you. So thank you, Pile 3, again. Dwell in happiness, and I'll see you in the next video.